Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mailbox Power Mastermind Call that happens Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. You guys figure out the rest. But we are in a brand new year. I don't know about you, but I can't believe we are in 2025. And I put out a challenge toward the end of last year about looking at your business from 2024 and deciding what you wanted your business in 2025 to look like. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today is ramping up if you haven't already for the new year, because we are already 6 days into it. And if you don't get ahead of the train, you're going to get run over by the train. And 2025 will be gone before you know it, just like 2024. So, with that, we'd like to start the week with the wins. And I would say the biggest win is we all made it to 2025. But with that, is there any other mailbox power wins that anybody would like to share this week? Alan.
Yes, Brenda. Took what you guided me with in terms of a card to talk to lawyers about our great product and sent out 35 or 8 of them on an automation that I hadn't done in forever because I hadn't been an executive and used the QR code and all that cool stuff. All our combined text did fit on one panel. So
Oh,
hooray.
wow.
Yes. Yes. I may have made slight modifications. The other cool thing, so I'm looking forward to people clicking that code. The other thing is I sent out 5 mugs as per our executive plan and actually got an email from an existing customer saying, thank you so much. Maybe I can be a more potent Mailbox Power user this year. And I said to myself, you have no idea what I have in mind for you. But that was exactly the intention of that effort. And I fully anticipate to have a chat with him about becoming an affiliate and him turning around and talking to all these New Bedford, Mass nonprofits and picking them up as customers. So, yay.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Great.
much. I couldn't do without the help of this group.
Great start to 2025. Neil, I saw your hand up and then we'll go to Lulu.
Just real quick, this morning, sitting on my email were two responses from the mugs that I sent out. And one was jumping off the email, the excitement. The other one was very thankful. And it was just, they were customers, but it was really nice. So
Nice. Lulu.
I just want to say that I went on vacation, gone for 2 weeks. I did not do anything. I had intentions to, but I didn't. But I just want to say, like, building my mailbox, being on these calls and continuing to build my mailbox power business, I made money while I was on vacation. I mean,
Yep.
that's the power, just a reminder that that's the power of what we have in our hands. And it wasn't like insignificant either. So just let's all work together and help each other build our businesses in 2025. And I do want to say thank you, Brenda and Michael, for all that you did for us in 2024.
You're welcome. And I'm excited for 2025. Kimberly.
So my husband's part of a nonprofit organization, and one of the ladies was in a theatrical production where the whole group went to see her perform. Well, I made a mug, and the gentleman who's leading the organization loved it so much that he wants a mug for everybody who went to the opening, which is like 25 people. So thank you, Mailbox Power. And I'm so happy to be on the executive. So happy.
So, Kimberly, let's talk about that for a second. So, this is a non-Mailbox Power user, correct?
Correct, correct.
Okay. So, you are planning on charging them retail prices
Absolutely.
okay. I'm like, don't give away the farm. They
Thank
gotta
you
be
for
a
that.
member. They
Thank
gotta
you
be
for
a
that.
member. You're welcome. And of course, the first 5, you're not paying anything for but the shipping, but make sure you're charging them
I'm not
and
using
the
the
shipping.
5. The 5 or every month is for something else that,
Yeah.
my
But
husband are cooking up. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm really, they were just totally blown
Blown
away
away.
by seeing their name and the theatrical production and the group shot that they did. I got it all on the mug and just, a little blurb about we wouldn't miss your opening night. And he saw it and he goes, I want everybody who came to have a mug. Now, I don't know if he's going to write a check or whatever, but we're talking about it.
Yeah. Good
It's
job.
cool.
Good job. Linda.
See what I have on my screen. But well, I sent anyway, Happy New Year, guys. I sent a journal and a pen to the president of my BNI group. And he thought it was so cool that they signed up for Mailbox Power account, and they have now are giving everyone who renews a journal and a pen for their renewal, and which is, I mean, there's 55 members, so
Mhm.
they've really made a commitment, and it was just because I sent something to thank him for the year that he's given the chapter. So there you go.
Nice.
And of course, they've talked about it when they handed them out, was where did these come from? So there was a big influx of interest, let me just say. So
Awesome. I love it. Any other wins that anybody wants to share before we talk about goals for 2025?
I just want to say, Bob, I got the Religious Leaders Revised booklet. Thank you so much. I got it in email and hard copy. You are awesome. You are just next level. And I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to create something. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're just magic.
No,
When it comes
no,
to the,
no reciprocation is necessary. That's fine.
yeah, but I'm compelled. I can't help myself because your attention to detail breaks it all down, spells it all out. So nobody's going to have an issue of scratching their head going, how do I use this? What can I do? And you do it step by step, which is just what we need to give our customers and our clients. So thank you so much.
I
Welcome.
concur.
I
Look
concur.
out,
I
Bob.
was
She's a
like,
giver.
yes, he is. He is a giver. And
Absolutely.
I saw somebody else's hand
Yeah,
up.
that was me. I was on
Okay.
mute. You hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was on mute. So I spent I retired last May and have been trying to get Justin to take a look at the financial services area for probably 3 or 4 years because that's where I worked as a financial advisor. And I had sent an email, horrible timing, like at the end of November. And I say horrible timing because it's like, who are you gonna, you're not gonna get anybody's attention at Mailbox Power at that time of year because they're busy. But anyway, I resent it and said, hey, I wanted to revisit this. Didn't know. Sorry for the timing. Bottom line is they've already talked to the company that I used to work for. Financial services is a focus for them. And I'm elated because I can walk into an office now and say, and I know Lulu, you said your husband was in the area, in that area. I'm elated because I can go in and talk the talk and hopefully be a Jim McCord for the financial services area. So I'm targeting real estate as well, but I don't know it, So
And that's a great point, though, is that stay in our lanes. It doesn't mean that you can't bring on a few others in other industries, because as you talk to people in the financial industry, they're going to turn around and talk to the people that they're advising or their friends in business that may be in other categories like real estate or insurance or whatever it might be. And at that point, then the best thing to do, because Jim McCord is a giver also. He's more than willing to do a video for you, or he has a ton of videos out there that direct you back to the person who invited them to watch the video. So you could just go grab somebody else's testimony, or reach out to somebody via text like Jim McCord or Steve, or I haven't reached out to Kelly only because I don't know Kelly as well as I know the others. And so I would just reach out to him and say, hey, any chance you have a few minutes? And generally, I haven't found anybody yet in Mailbox Power that hasn't been willing to say, sure, I'll help you out. So, I mean, just reciprocate and say to them, if you ever have anybody in the financial industry, I'm glad to hop on a call with you and your prospect, since you don't know the language of the financial industry. That's why we're here. That's why we do these calls, is so that we can learn from each other and help each other grow our businesses. You don't have to be the one who knows it all and can speak in every language of every profession. Thank goodness, right, Kimberly? Lulu.
Well, I think it gives us more credibility when we can say, that's not my lane, but so and so in my mastermind group, that's their lane, and
Yep.
I'm going to confer with that person. Like, that elevates us in our prospects'
Yeah,
mind.
can't be afraid to say I don't know everything. And
Exactly.
it does give you credibility, absolutely.
Yeah, I've run into a few times in the last, I would say, 3 to 6 months, where I've had people, and I'm in a BNI group, and we were doing interviews for one of the firm categories, and those that are in BNI understand what that means. It's one of the critical positions in a chapter. And we were doing interviews for that position, and several people who interviewed just like flat out gave answers that were not truthful. like they just made something up because they felt like they needed to be able to answer it, instead of saying, and one of the applicants said, I don't know. And that's okay to say, I don't know, but I'll find out and I'll get back to you. Linda.
I was just going to say, it just, came to me as you were talking. Wouldn't it, maybe because you're in the financial, and I don't know your name,
Mark.
so
Mark.
Mark? Okay, Mark. Um, because you're in the financial, maybe one of these calls you could talk to us about what's important to a financial people, that we don't have to know a whole lot of things, but just educate us a little bit, about the kinds of things, we could talk about that, that are important to financial people and how they might use Mailbox Power.
Yeah.
I came from the insurance world, so I can speak their language, and so I do a lot with insurance and Medicare agents, that kind of thing, because I know what they need. It's low hanging fruit as far as I'm concerned for me. Um, but anyway, it would be helpful to know, if those of us in this group who have a level of expertise in certain areas, to maybe take some time and share about that.
Yeah.
So
I'd
that's
be
my 2
happy.
cents.
I would be happy to, and I know Lulu's husband, I think, is an advisor, so you probably have an insight that's actually different than mine that would be helpful too.
And
You hear it you hear it when it comes home, not just in the office.
The other thing I would say, Mark, is I used to work in the financial industry. And you're all probably looking at me like, what? You were military? I was a client contact specialist. And so I also can speak not 100% the language, but I understand the compliance issues that the financial industry has.
That's the key
And
word.
Yep. And I know how to protect them so that when they get audited, it's not a problem, because that's the biggest concern any financial person is going to have to use our system.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that putting that information in Mailbox Power, they feel like they are not allowed to, because then they're sharing all of their clients' contact information. Here's the key. And Mark, if you haven't thought about this, when it comes to the financial industry, you are not, first of all, you're not saying what type of product they have or how much they have in investments. You can do that in your own code. The Broncos versus the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody knows, but that could be your A, B, and C clients, whatever. But just be careful of that. And the second thing is, don't just put your clients in there. Put your family, your friends, your networking partners, your referral partners, everybody in there, so that if anybody ever got the list, they do not have your list of clients.
Yeah.
It is your Rolodex.
And another thing too that I know is important, because I've talked to the compliance people about it, is we do birthdays, right? Well, if it doesn't say Mark was born in 1959, you can't tell whether Mark's 20 or 70. And so that helps too, not having year of birth in there, because it is an identifier that the compliance people don't like if you have an age in there. So it
One of the others,
doesn't always get over the hurdle for a particular compliance department, but it helps.
I'll tell
one
you
of
what,
the other things I've used is the fact that we have a copy of what I sent. And you can read here, I didn't say anything out of the norm. I didn't offer up anything. You have proof. You could send a handwritten card and say things that the compliance wouldn't approve of. And they can't prove that you can't prove that you didn't. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
one I've used.
the other thing, Mark, is I have taught financial advisors to, you're using the same female, the same male birthday card, whatever it is, all year long. Please don't touch the keyboard. You can say hi in a minute. Is that you make sure that you take a copy, you do a screen print of that, and then you put it in a file in your file cabinet. And then every month, yes, hello, shh, Grandma's talking. Be polite. I'll give you a chance in a minute. And every month that you send, you print out the list from the order history of who got it, because now it even says birthday automation, and you put that with it so that when compliance comes along, you can give them the login, but they have it all in the drawer, that you don't necessarily have to give them the login to Mailbox Power to prove that that's what you sent. But you have the ability, like Linda said, that they can go in. It's like, here's my username and password, and I'll change it when you're done looking at the stuff, or change it before they get in, so that it's not a password that you use, and then change it back after they're done doing their compliance audit. But Linda had a very good point, but I don't just stop at it's in the system. You print it out and you put it in a file drawer, and you put it, whatever you've sent, make sure that you have your communication file. And that is how all of my financial advisors have passed compliance using this system.
Yeah. And they have to do that. A good office will be doing that. I'll leave it at that. So
yeah. All right. Say hi.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Okay. Now go see Papa. I'll be up in a minute. Okay. Thank you. Oh, you got to do some hard work. He likes playing at my desk and getting the stickies and doing his own work.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I like.
Okay, Grandma's got to finish the call now, so you got to be quiet. So speaking of goals for 2025, we talked about this probably back in October, early November. We were talking about, have you looked at how much you made or you are projected to make in 2024? And have you looked at that and then projected for 2025 and set goals for 2025? And if anybody has any big goals that they would like to share, we would all love to hear it because everybody on this call can help you to be accountable and checking in monthly or weekly and saying, hey, how you doing on that goal? Linda or Mark or Lulu or Kimberly or Alan. Like if Alan's goal is to triple his Mailbox Power business, then we know by March, the end of March, beginning of April, he should have already done as much business this year as he had done last year, if that's his goal. Or if his goal is to bring on, or Lulu's goal is to bring on, we'll say 24 new clients. I'm just trying to pick easy numbers. Then that's 2 a month. And at the end of January, we can say, hey, have you brought your 2 on? How can we help you out? Anybody want to chime in? Share a big goal. Everybody's so quiet.
Of course. Well, I'll stick my neck out here and you can all take a whack at it. The saying is that you start with the end in mind.
Mhm.
And so I'll tell you how I processed my goals. I started with what I want to increase my monthly check by this year.
Yep.
And then I figured out, okay, if that's what I want to increase, then how many execs do I need to have to achieve that? Or pros for that matter, but I'm just, let's stay with execs. And so, okay, that's how many execs I need to have. So how many execs then do I have to have every month? Well, in order to get an exec, I know it takes a lot of digging through the goals. So in order to get that many execs, I have to have so many, calls or contacts. And in order to get so many contacts, I have to make so many calls and keep it breaking it down smaller and smaller and smaller until I know exactly how many, cold contacts I have to make every day in order to get to those numbers, assuming that my ratio is correct. Maybe 1 out of 10. Who knows? We'll see.
Well,
But
and
that's how I came up with my number of new calls that I have to make every day to make this work.
I love it, Bob. And as you start to do that, the first month it might take 10 to get one, and the second month it might be 9, and then 8, and then 7, because the more you do it and the more you're focused on your goal, the quicker you tend to get to your goals. I don't remember the exact stats, so don't quote me on it, but it's like 90 some odd percent of people don't set goals, and those that do, if they keep to their goals, they're the ones that are making the majority of the world's wealth right now. Because it's huge to set goals and not to forget about them. If you set goals and you systematically work toward those goals, it's sort of like the habits, atomic habits, where that team, if you haven't read that book, it's amazing how much just doing one thing a day, one extra thing a day, and that's it. And it can be a tiny thing, can change the trajectory of your business, your personal life, your health and wellness. It doesn't matter what it is. It's amazing how much just one little thing can make a huge difference. And so I applaud you for not just setting a goal, Bob, but breaking it down into bite-sized chunks and knowing what it's going to take to get there. Because now, if you believe it's 10 and you find out it's really 15, you know how to adjust your numbers to get to where you need to be. Or again, if you thought it was 10 and oh geez, I'm happy. It's only taken me 5 or 6. You're going to get to your goal a lot faster. But what I want to stress is so many times when people get better and they change and it no longer takes 10, it only takes 8 or 7 or 6. They're like, oh, well, I don't need to make as many phone calls because I'm getting to my goal faster. I highly recommend you keep at the pace that you set, even if you find that your numbers, it doesn't take as many, because now you crush your goals instead of getting to the end of the year and it's like, dang, I missed it by a few. I'd rather see you all crush your goals than to be stressed coming to the end of the year like, dang, I gotta work really hard at the holidays in order to make my goal. I'd rather all of you say to me by June or July, you know, Brenda, I've already done as much business this year as I did last year. And I'm on track to do double or triple what I did last year. That's what my wish is for all of you in 2025. Neil.
Okay, getting vulnerable here. I sporadically made money with Mailbox Power over the years. What would be a good goal for someone, pardon my voice, for someone to get started, have a realistic goal or semi-realistic? Do you have anything like that in mind or any suggestions?
It really, and I know you're not going to like this answer, but it really depends, Neil. What's realistic for one person can be a shoot for the moon for somebody else. If you noticed, if you follow me on Facebook, I put something out there that said, I am looking for ambitious salespeople who want to earn $3K a month in residual income. Some of you are thinking, wow, like that, I know what my check is right now. I don't think that's possible. It really doesn't take that much. If you go look at the calculators that we have put in the affiliate group, and especially if you focus on executives and not birthday and pro memberships, and I know that that is for some people a mental block, and it was for Mike and I, so I completely understand. But when you can change your mindset and see that the executive is where the majority of business owners should be in order to meet their goals that they want, and they are not afraid to spend money to make money, and those are your ideal clients. When you focus on the executive, it doesn't take that much to get there. So less than 40 executives creates a $3,000 a month residual income in Mailbox Power. Now, if somebody new is watching this, or somebody, I believe everybody is a legacy on here, but if there is somebody who's not and they only make 20, well, guess what? You've met your numbers to be grandfathered or put into the 40% commission. So maybe until you get there, until you reach the number of members you need, and there is no longer a financial number. It used to be, in order to be a legacy affiliate or a super affiliate, you had to have X number of dollars. It was so many executives or pros. It doesn't matter anymore. It could be 30 birthday memberships. Please don't do it that way. That's the hard way, and you're going to make a whole heck of a lot of money. But the other nice thing about that 3,000 is, you know, that they've got enough customers on the books, if they're executives, to be at the 40%. And if you've brought all executives on the 90-day membership, you can remember that even if you're a brand new affiliate at a 20% commission, you still get 40% on those 90-day memberships. So focus on the 90-day memberships and do it every month. Like Bob said, he knows how many phone calls he needs to make every day. You focus on how many you need every single month. One 90-day membership every single month keeps that 40% 90-day membership bonus or commission that you get up front, keeps it consistent every month. If you do two, you keep that commission consistent every month, and then the residuals will trail and build. Does that make sense? But it really depends, Neil. Some people, they need to put food on the table. They lost their job. They need to pay a mortgage, and they're going to get there a lot quicker generally than somebody who is comfortable with their living expenses right now. If you are making enough money, this is what I've learned, is if somebody gets to an income level in their regular job or their other business, and they are making enough to pay the bills, and they are comfortable, and they can take their family trips and things like that, generally they're not the person who's going to make a lot in another income opportunity, unless they're just super driven. The people who tend to shoot out of the gate and make a lot of money really fast are those that need, air quotes, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's need is different, but they need something. They can't pay their rent, so they're going to hustle, and they're going to work till late at night, and they're going to put in extra hours just to get that rent payment. Now, there's some people that are like that will never hustle, and they're never going to be able to make their rent or their mortgage payment. And unfortunately, they're the ones that end up out on the streets and homeless a lot of times, because they aren't driven. But anybody who has a true need for food or clothing or a roof over their head is more likely to get there quicker than somebody who's comfortable. That's just been my experience. So that's why I say there really isn't. I think it's extremely easy. Again, it's me. For years I didn't. I think it's extremely easy to make $1,000 a month in Mailbox Power, or 2,000, especially if you're a legacy affiliate. If you want to make more than that, let's talk about coaching. What are your goals? Let's make it happen. Reach out. I'm glad to, I have a coaching program that I offer for affiliates that are ready to take their business to the next level. If that's you, reach out. Alan.
Thanks, Brenda. Just rambling a little bit. Going directly to affiliate, I'm not comfortable with this moment. $3,000 a month sounds really nice. I see myself more at the 1,500 to 2,000 shooting for this year. If that means pro accounts and identifying early on those that would be good affiliates in certain industries. I envision getting law office administrators involved and loving this product and introducing them personally to it, and then they can go and have at it with legal. You know, find my nonprofit back east, and he can go at it with those 180 people that are in their group. That's how law firms work. That's how senior partners look for junior partners that put in billable hours. And the last thing I'm going to say is I do put things in my calendar on Mondays and Wednesdays for Mailbox Power. It's not specific enough. So there's going to be something in my calendar every day of the week in the morning, probably right after your call Mondays and just all the way through the week. And then the legal stuff I will not do as frequently because I'm not focusing on that much anymore. So like Lulu says, every day and it gets better. So I see that happening. I see the effect of things that I do that I'm coached to do and that I've done by myself. So I'm going to keep it up and just do more of it.
Awesome. Congratulations. And I look forward to watching your growth. We've had this
So
discussion.
when we get closer to that $3,000 month number, we'll do some consulting. You'll do some consulting and
Yep.
coaching for me.
Yep. Well, and you know, Ellen, you haven't been consistent, as you said, and now you're putting it on the calendar. And it's amazing what happens if you truly stick to what's on your calendar and make sure that it happens. Even if it doesn't happen right after the call, or you've got it scheduled for 9 a.m. or whatever it is, 10 a.m. You've got it scheduled and it doesn't happen because the day gets away from you. It's kind of the old, and Bob, you'll remember this is, I think it was Steve Schultz that taught us this, or Vanessa or somebody. Take 2 stones, 2 rocks, 2 pennies, 2 whatever, or 5, whatever your goal is. So Bob already knows how many he has to reach out to a day. You take them and you put them either in your right or your left pocket, doesn't matter. You pick. Are you right-handed? You put them in your right pocket and move it to the left. And you don't go to bed until you've done those outreaches. Make a commitment to yourself and your business to do what it takes to get to where you want to be. So many times people, and this was Mike and I was making really good money in the Air Force. Mike was making really good money. I didn't have to bring in a paycheck. There are a bunch of people in another company that have husbands or wives that have extremely good retirement checks and they don't have to make money. They just want a little fun money to go to the movies or some extra things or to buy some gifts or to buy whatever they want whenever they want. And they don't need a significant income. If you don't need it, you're not setting goals to figure out how to get there, you're not going to get there. How do I know that? It was us. Vanessa and Steve and others, Joe, but truly Vanessa and Steve were our first mentors that taught us how to do this. And if you follow it, and if you really do it, it works. That's all I'm going to say. We learned it works. And you can have whatever you want in life and in business in Mailbox Power if you just work for it and you set your goals and systematically chunk away at them, you will get there. But if you don't set a goal, there's nothing to shoot for. There's nothing to work for each week if you don't set a goal. And for some people, that's fine. This is truly retirement and just extra fun money and enjoying life. And to some degree, that's where Mike and I are, but I'm not quitting and I'm still growing. And my goal now is to bring on affiliates and teach them to do what Mike and I did. Because like Alan said, he wants to bring on the law firms, partners in that. He wants to bring in big law groups, which is going to be an affiliate that brings in all of those other people, and they're going to work with all those people underneath. And it's not then your responsibility. Sure, you're going to have to reach out. You're going to have to help them, train them. You'll probably have to do some meetings for them to begin with, some trainings for that group to begin with. But once they're up and running, they're somewhat self-sufficient. And so now you have another stream of income. That's the beauty of affiliate marketing when it's more than one tier, and we have 2 tiers, even for new folks. We put that back in place. There is the ability to make money that it's not just you being a salesperson, which is what I love. And that, yes, I love network marketing. I came from network marketing, but network marketing is hard to build depth and to build a team and to find the right key leaders that then will go find key leaders and keep building that depth. Most people in network marketing only get to 2 or 3 levels deep. And they don't make the commission we do because they have to pay to 8, 9, 10 levels deep or unlimited levels deep. So they don't give it in the upfront commissions on the first and second level because they need to keep some of those commissions back. The beauty of Mailbox Power is we're only 2 levels. And the majority of the commission goes to that first level. So let's take advantage of it. And let's go build this thing big in 2025. And I'm way over time. And we have our grandbabies. So I'm going to let you all go. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday. As a reminder, the first corporate call of the year is this coming Wednesday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And I believe that our new employee, you've seen him in the affiliate group, Leslie, something.
Turner Leslie.
What was that?
Turner Leslie.
Turner Leslie. I was like, I remember Leslie, and I know that's not his first name, but Turner, I believe, will be on that call, and they will announce him and what his role in Mailbox Power is. So I look forward to seeing you all on the Wednesday morning call, and I hope you have an amazing week. Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so
Thank you very
much.
much.
Bye-bye.
Great seeing everybody.